Have a safe journey.
4, 3, 2, 1. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete. System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging.
Oh god, excuse me. Hello. Okay, that's all the gas giants in the system. So all this is the icy bodies. Okay, cool. Putting my new Guardian frame shift drive booster to a booster for a bit of a field test, and I thought, what better way to test it out than to take it about 800, take the ship about 800 light years away to the Witch Head Nebula.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Because why not? So anyway, how are you doing?
System scan complete. Fuel scooping.
Yes, other than that.
Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Four, 3, 2, 1.
Let's hear it. Let's hear you doing good. Okay, that's a T-Tauri star, so I cannot fuel scoop from that.
System scan complete.
The song. That cannot be fuel scoop from, so I'm just going to scoot right on by and immediately move on to the next system. How much further have we got left to go? 9 jumps. Cool. Now this is a star I can definitely scoop fuel from.
Fuel scooping.
Oh, and there's actually some orbital bodies in this system I can scan. Alright, so we're just going to park up here, right next to the star. And while we're busy topping off our fuel tank, I'm going to map out the system. Or at least map out as much of it as I can from this position.
Fuel scooping complete. System scan complete.
Okay, I was able to get all of them from this side of the star. Sweet. I've stripped off the weapon systems from this Diamondback, which really I only had those weapons on there for self-defense purposes anyway. But I took off all the weapon systems from this thing.
Frameshift drive charging.
I'd stripped out everything from it that wasn't essential for exploration purposes, and now the ship has a 67 plus light year jump range with the Guardian frameshift drive booster. Now, I couldn't put the biggest one on there because in order to do that, I'd have to sacrifice the shield generator, and honestly, fuck that. I am not giving up the shield generator, Ada, if I want to try and land on a planet without killing myself.
Fuel scooping.
I mean, not that I'd lose a lot of money if the ship got destroyed, but at the same time, I don't really want to lose it all the same. So just going to top off the fuel tank.
Fuel scooping complete.
I mean, if I come across anything in these systems that along the way, if I come across anything that looks interesting on these planets, I'm definitely going to stop and take a look. But of course, I'm heading to the Witch Head Nebula for a very specific reason. Which for once actually has nothing to do with engineering. Although there is an engineer in that system. Chloe's a Daisy, I think. Is it Chloe Sedaisy? Yeah, I think it's Chloe. Yeah, I think it's Chloe Sedaisy. She makes her home in the Shinvei system. In the Shinvei system in the Witch Head Nebula. Not quite sure why she'd want to set up a base of operations in the system in a region of space controlled by the Thargoids, but whatever.
System scan complete.
Ain't gonna question that. Is that like a random? No. Okay, so those aren't landfall planets.
Frameshift drive charging.
If they had been landfall planets, they would have had a blue icon next to them on the navigation tab. One thing I do love about this game is the fact that they actually justify how certain things work in this, like the way that the fuel scoop actually works, because your ship's thrusters and your engines and jump drive are actually powered by hydrogen. So the fuel scoop actually collects hydrogen from the coronas from the star's corona. That's why you need to actually fly so close to the star in order to actually gather fuel from it. Wait, are there these landfall planets? No. Okay. Well, let's check out some of the other planets. You never know. One of these might be a landfall planet. It would be nice to actually be able to find a planet to touch down on. I wouldn't want to come all the way out into this neck of the woods in order to just scan every planet in the in every system I come across. Although that is still a
System
profitable
scan
venture.
complete.
Because money.
Frameshift drive charging.
I'm actually gonna tweak the audio a little bit. There we go. That's a bit better.
Frameshift drive charging.
How am I sounding now? Hopefully with the game volume turned down a little bit, I should be easier for you to hear me.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
What's with the big eyes? Ooh. Geological signals highly likely. Ooh. Oh, that could be profitable. That could be a profitable venture. Because if there's geological signals there, that means I can actually plunder that for raw engineering materials, and I'm kind of actually in need of those kind of materials. Assuming that's a planet I can actually land on, of course. Because if that is a planet I can actually land on, that will give me the option to actually jump out of the surface reconnaissance vehicle, drive around, and actually pick up some engineering material, and potentially find some interesting sites along the way. Just as long as I don't get the SRV stuck again. I really wouldn't want to have to scrub the mission on the way. That would be kind of embarrassing. And also a bit of a blow to morale.
System scan complete.
Ah! These are landfall planets. Ha ha! I can actually land on these. Right. Let's go have a look. 5 jumps away from our from our main destination. So yeah, I can afford to stop up and take a bit of a quick detour. I mean, it's on the way. Exactly. And hey, if I can get some raw engineering materials out of it, so much the better. Okay, I do definitely have an SRV docked in the planetary vehicle hangar. Okay, that's one of the gas giants. Okay, in order to interrogate the precise locations of those geological sites, I'm going to have to use the surface scanner for this. And actually, now that I think about it, this is a good time for me to actually show the surface scanner in action. Alright, so we're coming in range of the planet now. So once we start orbiting it, I'll pull up the surface scanner for this. Alright, there we go. Right. This is actually not difficult to do. The trick is basically the surface scanner involves you firing a series of probes into the planet and its surface in order to map it out. And you can actually see as I pull it away from the planet, there's that sort of little marker thing there. Because I can actually slingshot it around the... Oh, hello. 33 geological sites of interest. Okay. Right.
Orbital flight engaged.
Okay, one of them's just over there, so... Now, you would have noticed there was that whole efficiency bonus. Pretty much, if you manage to hit the efficiency bonus, or if you manage to hit the target of the probe efficiency, you'll get bonus credits for mapping out because you mapped out the planet. Yeah, you pretty much get bonus credits for mapping out the surface. Right. I'm going to slow this thing right down. I've got to come in for a descent. I don't want to hit the red because otherwise that'll be too steep of an angle to initiate the glide. And any second now. There we go. We've just dropped out of orbital cruise. And because we weren't at too steep of an angle, we've engaged the glide. Glide complete. Okay. We're about 5.5 kilometers above, or above the site. We're going to bring it down. Whoa. The hell are these? Okay.
Landing gear deployed.
These look almost like magma vents. Or like geysers of some kind. Let's have a look.
No gravity warning.
A water ice fumarole. Okay, what the hell is that when it's at home? Ice fumaroles are gaps in an icy planet's crust that allow liquid or gaseous material to escape under high pressure. So it's like a geyser? Am I understanding that right?
Cargo scoop deployed.
Actually, hold on a minute. I actually have an idea. How far away am I? $491 light years. I can do that trip in no time. Question for you. Would you like to meet eat the player character from the earlier Elite games? Alright, let me just pick up this material and head back to the ship, and we'll do just that. I need to head back to the ship in order to plot the route to the boot of the system. Okay, so I'm going to have to replot the route for this. Oh, I think the game just did it automatically. How long is that going to take? Oh, 8 jumps. That's actually not too bad. Alright, let's fire up the thrusters. So it'll take us a little bit to get there, but
4, 3, 2, 1.
while we're on the way, I suppose while we're on the way, I can at least provide a little bit of explanation as to who I was talking about. So the character I'm referring to was an individual who's referred to in the game, in the Elite games, as Commander Jameson. Now he was the player character in the original Elite, the 1980s game. You know, we're talking the one with wireframe graphics here. And well, people for the longest time in Elite Dangerous didn't actually know what happened to him, because one of the last things that people remember, that people knew he did, was he travelled to a region of space where the Thargoids resided and did something to them. He did something to the Thargoids in an attempt to combat them. But after that, nobody knows what happened to him. He kind of disappeared off the face of the earth after that event. I mean, I know what happened to him because I've been to this place before. But
System scan complete.
it'll still be a nice little place to go. Nice little sight to see. Fun little fact actually about Elite Dangerous. One of the ships that you can obtain in the game is the Cobra Mark III. It's a pretty early ship in the game. Like you can unlock the Cobra Mark III pretty early on. It's not that expensive of a ship to get. But in terms of the history of the Elite franchise, that ship was actually the same ship that you fly in the original Elite game. It's the very first ship. In fact, it's the only ship that you fly in the original Elite, because there was no other ships that you could get access to in the original game. You could only fly the Cobra Mark III.
Fuel scooping.
Yeah, so I actually do have a Cobra Mark III. I have it sitting in my my shipyard in my home system. Well, my current home system, I should say. Of course, once I get access to the Shinratha Desra system, that will be my new home system, but that's not going to be for a while yet. Yeah, that's definitely not going to be for some time. But I think I have mine painted, done up in the colours of Jameson's Cobra. The only thing is I don't have his ship's original registration number, because I don't actually remember what it is. I think the incredible thing about this, though, is that this location that we're about to visit was actually discovered by an actual player. Someone found this. Like, an actual player found it. This wasn't something that was revealed by NPCs or anything. This was actually located by a real player in real time. They happened to, presumably while mapping out that region of space, they happened to, investigate the planet's surface and happened to come across a human signal on the planet's surface, went down to investigate, and found the crash site. You know, they found Jameson's ship. And it actually, if you're doing the engineering grind, it's a very useful place to go. Because scattered around the site of, you know, Jameson's ship is a set of data beacons, and you can scan those beacons with the data link scanner, and they provide you with different encoded engineering materials. And the incredible thing is that you can actually keep getting more encoded materials by simply by simply scanning all of the data logs, quitting out of the game, and then logging back in. At which point all of the data logs will be refreshed and you can scan them again. So in effect, you have an inexhaustible supply of high-grade encoded engineering data.
System scan complete.
Now, I'm not going to be doing that because, well, I don't really need to at the moment. But we still are going to need to scan those data logs, or those data terminals, in order to actually figure out the story of what happened to Commander Jameson.
4, 3, 2.
And the Commander Jameson whose ship we're going to be looking for is the Commander Jameson from the first Elite, not the Commander Jameson from Frontier Elite 2, who is supposed to be Commander Jameson, the original Jameson's descendant. No, the ship we're going to be looking for is going to be the original Commander Jameson's ship from the original 1980s Elite game. Again, we're talking about, when I say the original game, we're talking about the one with wireframe graphics here. In fact, the game that's so old, but some people are probably going to actually have to look up what wireframe graphics actually are.
Frameshift drive charging.
Hey, in fairness, some people don't know what wireframe graphics are. That's not me being mean. You know, some people don't actually know what those are, because some people didn't grow up with those.
Fuel skipping.
Hell, I know someone at university who never grew up with games with wireframe graphics. So you mentioned the word wireframe graphics to him, and he's like, "What the hell are you on about?" It's not because he's, uncultured or anything. It's just he never grew up with it, so he had no idea that that was a thing. But I mean, the original Elite, you couldn't really, with the scope of the game's world, you really couldn't make it in any other kind of graphics other than wireframe anyway. At least the original game. Which, funny little thing actually, the original star system that you start off in the original Elite is known as the Lave system. Here in Elite Dangerous, that system is still there. You can actually go there. You can actually visit Lave Station. and go to the and dock yourself in the original in the original starport from the first Elite game, which admittedly was a lot more dangerous in that game because the merest touch against the side of the station docking port would just kill you. So that was fun.
System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging.
How much further have we got left? 2 more jumps. Okay. I'm just going to move on to the next system. I'm not going to bother mapping it out. Or mapping this one out.
Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, this is definitely one I'm going to be mapping out. There's 50 orbital bodies in here. Yeah, I'm definitely mapping this out. Because that's going to be worth a fortune in astronavigational data. 50 orbital bodies. Bloody hell. It's going to be worth a truckload of astronavigational data when I get this back to a system. Almost done mapping this out, and then we move on to the next, move on to our destination. There we go. Right, that's the last system, the last planet. Next stop, the HIP 12099 system. And the romantically named Planet 1B. There's one specific human signal source on this planet that I'm looking for. In fact, I think it's the only one on the surface. There it is. Jameson crash site. We found it. Just need to line ourselves up with it.
Orbital flight engaged.
Yeah? 1 second. You sure? No worries. Okay. Turn the lights on. Turn the night vision on until we get down. There it is. Commander Jameson's crash site. Hold on a minute, guys. No. Sorry, I'm going to go answer a phone call. Right. Whoa.
Landing gear deployed.
Here we are. Let's go and have a look.
Low gravity warning.
First thing we need to do is we need to scan all of the data of the common control terminals. I'm gonna turn up the voice volume. So that we can hear everything. Which one's the first one? Here it is.
Hey there, kiddo. Now, I know I said I'd be coming home soon, but they've asked me to do something important. And I couldn't say no. I wanted to be there, believe me, but sometimes you have to make sacrifices. And, well, this is one of those times. I don't know if that makes much sense to you, but maybe it will do when you're older. Anyway, I thought I'd send you this log. I know it's not the same as being there in person, but it's the best I could do. I'm sorry. I'm not really supposed to talk about my mission, but if I'm going to miss your birthday, the least I could do is give you a good story. Consider yourself sworn to secrecy, soldier, okay? I'm sitting in the cockpit waiting for the all clear. They want to tinker with her for a while first, but they don't seem to have done any harm. All systems online, everything's looking good. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't feeling just a little jittery. You know, I've fought bugs before, sure, but never more than one at a time. flying up to one of their hive ships, well, that's a whole different story. Hell, I don't even know what I'm carrying. Classified, they said. All I know is it's designed to target the bug's hyperdrive so they won't be able to leave the system. Of course, if it doesn't work, I'm just kicking the hornet's nest. That's why I've set my nav system to jump out as soon as I've deployed the payload. You know, can't be too careful. Wish me luck.
So that was log number 1 from Commander John Jameson. This is log number 2.
That was almost too easy. Thread my way past the perimeter, mask my heat signature so I'd get close to the superstructure. I tell you, I've never seen a hive ship up close before. Doubt many people have. It was amazing, kiddo. Beautiful, really. Makes you realize just how smart they are, how advanced. I admit it. I hesitated for a moment before I hit the button. I had to remind myself it wasn't them I was attacking, just their technology. As if this microwave virus of theirs even works. Oh, man. I watched the payload rocket into the belly of their ship and stuck around just long enough to make sure it hit home. Then I punched the throttle. Whoa! Whew. I'm coming home, kiddo. I'm coming home.
Well, judging by the state of that wreck, I don't think he did. So let's find out why. There's number 3.
We're supposed to target the hyperdrives. That's what they told me, just the hyperdrive, so we'd be safe again. So we could live without fear. Well, it did a hell of a lot more than that. There were sensors on the payload so I could monitor the reaction and make sure it activated properly. I'm staring at the data now. The weapon is lethal. They knew what it could do. They knew what it could do, and they used it anyway. How many have we killed? Thousands? Millions? God forgive us.
Well, on the one hand, that explains what he was tasked to do. But it doesn't really explain what happened to his ship and why it ended up in the middle of the arse end of nowhere. Let's see what happened.
Got myself a bit of a situation here, kiddo. My guess is that they installed a program in my ship and set it to trigger after I deployed the payload. All my systems are dead, the controls are out, can't even access the escape pod, and the ship is on a collision course. And there is nothing I can do about it. We need to inspect your ship, Commander! How did I fall for a ruse like that? Oh, God. Oh, I'm at least partly to blame. Gotten old, careless. I should have quit years ago. I guess I should have known they wouldn't be coming back. I mean, the bugs are dangerous, no doubt about it. But, well, this is mass murder we're talking about. You can understand why they want to keep it a secret. I know some men wouldn't want to admit they've killed thousands of sentient beings. I guess the guys back at base think they're doing me a favor by burying me out here in the black. Personally, I'd rather people knew what happened, even if I didn't come out of it looking too good. I don't have much time. There's a big old plant in my viewport, and it's getting bigger every second. People will talk about what I did after I'm gone, the missions I flew, the things I accomplished. There's something I want you to remember. No matter what they say, whatever garlands they hang on my name, whatever they write in my tombstone, you were my greatest achievement. I love you, son.
I'll do it in a minute.
If you want to go do it now while I'm in the shower, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah. But there's something I want to show you with the crash. Something about this that doesn't add up. Let me get into the external camera so you can see this. Look at the cockpit. There's no damage. There's no body either. Nothing. It's not even bones. So one question remains. Where the hell did he go? I kind of feel sorry for him, being stuck out in the, being sent out on a classified mission, to kill a bunch of aliens, and then basically had his ship taken out, its control taken out from underneath him, and sent him on a collision course to a planet in the arse end of nowhere. He didn't even get to say goodbye to his. He didn't even get to say happy birthday to his son. Who coincidentally is actually the descendant I told you about in Frontier Elite 2. I will be back in a little bit. Give you some time to digest that knowledge. So I will be right back. Sorry about that. Just had to go sort out a couple things. Make sure I might close the curtains real quick. And I see that there is a mermaid wolf in here. Hello! Oops. Oh. I actually was not aware that this was something you could scan. That you could actually scan the ship directly. Huh. Analysis complete. High concentrations of mycoid particle detected. Searching no databases for identification. Results confirmed. Designation. Cobra Mark III. Registered pilot. Commander Jameson. But again, there's something about this whole thing that doesn't add up for me. Where is the body? If you look inside the cockpit, there's no body. And there's no body outside the ship either. So, what gives? And more importantly, who set up those beacons? Was it Jameson himself or someone else? Well, now that that's done, okay, well, let's see if I can actually get the camera to show it. Okay. It's a little dark because you can't see it because I don't have the SRV's lights trained on it, but there's no actual body inside the ship. In fact, there's no body anywhere. So who set up those beacons? See if I can actually get the ship's lights on it.
Landing gear retracted.
See what I mean? There's no one inside the ship. There's no body, no bones, nothing. And there's no visible damage to the cockpit canopy. In fact, the only real visible damage is, well, the section of the ship that's buried under the rubble, under the dirt there, under the rocks there, damage to the thrusters, and that's about it. Presumably the cargo bay got damaged as well, because all that cargo was just lying around outside the ship. Oh, shit. We'll see how long we can go before we're up there.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Now, where else could we go that's interesting? Ooh. Actually, wait. Oh. I know somewhere where we can go. That'll be interesting. Just need to find it on the map. Where is it? There it is.
Frameshift drive charging.
Actually, wait, what did I mark this system for? I don't remember. Oh well. Probably not important. Well, not important at the moment. That's about 4 jumps away. Which means... No, wait, hang on. Shit, I don't remember how you're supposed to spell this. Ah, there we go. This is actually a place I've been wanting to go to for a while.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one, engage. System scan complete. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging.
There is a system about a couple hundred or so light years away from the solar system. You know, our solar system.
Four,
Which is
three,
considered to be which is considered to be one of the most dangerous systems in this part of the galaxy. Because of one planet in particular. And we'll be able to find out more about it and I'll show you it in a little bit more detail when we actually get there.
fuel scooping complete.
This will probably be the last little thing that I'll show before I end the stream.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one, engage. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one, engage. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
Alright.
Frameshift drive charging.
We are about to arrive at our destination. The Scadi system. We have arrived. So, the system itself, is nothing too special. It's has a main sequence. Class G white yellow star, and a few orbital bodies in the system. In fact, one of them I think is an Earth-like planet. Yeah, this one here, Scadi 4, is actually an Earth-like planet, and there is a orbital station here, but it's this planet here. Scadi 1. That's quite interesting. So it's a metal-rich planet. It has a rotational period of 0.1 days. It's actually tidally locked. And I believe there is a way to view the temperature of the planet. There we go. Surface temperature 986 degrees Kelvin. That's on the side that's facing the sun. And look at the distance. 2.64 light seconds away from the star. Compare that to the Scadi 4, which is 42.71 light seconds away. So Scadi 1 is actually inside the star's corona. That's how close it is to that sun, to that star. It is also a landfall planet. You could actually land on this. And that's exactly what I'm going to attempt to do. Now, this is incredibly dangerous. Because of just how close this planet sits to the sun. But I'm feeling adventurous, so let's try and land on Scadi 1 instead of Scadi 2. I mean...
Fuel scooping.
Hmm?
Fuel scooping complete. Warning, temperature critical.
We're still good for the moment.
Warning, taking heat damage.
We're good. We're still good.
Orbital flight
Okay, now I'm gonna hit the...
fuel scooping complete. Heat sink deployed.
Temperature isn't rising. That's because we're actually now on the planet's... now that we're on the planet's surface and we're not in Super Cruise, we don't have to actually worry about the ship cooking itself to death. It's only when I actually start to leave the planet that I'm actually going to have to be a bit concerned. Ladies and gentlemen, I just sat down on the surface of a planet that is 2.6 light seconds away from its main sequence star, and I did it on my first attempt. How the fuck? In fact, look at that. Look off to the left. You can see the corona from here. Look at that. That is... that is just spectacular. I think that's actually probably going to be actually a pretty good good place to end this off. I've got some things I need to take care of, so I'm going to be ending up here. Yeah, it's fine. I'm about to end it anyway, so... yeah. I'll leave you with this gorgeous view. Look at that.